Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the webinar about the Explore program for the spring session in Jonquiere, Quebec. My name is Guy Paradis, and I am the director of Le Centre Linguistique. And hopefully, many of you are watching us with the YouTube link that we've sent you earlier today. I am not alone, so I have a tech person with me. Also, I have joining us a special guest, and I will let him introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian Harrison. I currently work at the International Office of Mohawk College, and I am an old participant of the Explore program in Jonquiere. I attended in the summer of 2016.
Okay, so welcome, Ian, and Ian will be able to, I would say, share about his experience here in Jonquiere, and also with his participation at the Language at Work program, which is one of the wonderful features of the Explore program in Jonquiere. So let's look at the menu for tonight. Okay, we have about a 45 to 50 minutes presentation to do, and I got also many questions that you've sent me to answer. So here is the table of content. First of all, we'll look at the program. How's the Explore program structured? What makes us special in Jonquiere? We're going to talk about housing, one main, I would say, cause of stress among bursary students or people coming to Jonquiere. Transportation, how do I travel to this far land? And program rules. Yes, we do have program rules. We're going to talk a bit also about extra cost activities, how to register, and there will be some more questions and answers at the end of the presentation. So the idea is, you can post your question on the YouTube channel. I have someone here basically recording your questions, writing them, and if you see a piece of paper coming this way, I'm getting your question. There is a delay, okay? So what you hear is about 15 seconds later than when I speak. So it may take a few seconds to get your question if it's an urgent question. But I would invite you to pay attention. Also, if you read the general information package, you should know pretty much everything you need to know about the wonderful program. Okay, let's talk about the program. Jonquiere, the spring program, has about 100 and more than 100 students, and also international students. We are pleased to welcome this spring, students from the US, from Louisiana, from Wisconsin, and also Mexican students. Explore, the program is very simple. Classes, yes, this is not a summer camp. This is not only pleasure. It is pleasure with great classes. We have also workshops for you to basically use the language after classes, activities and excursions. On every Saturday, you will go out and discovering new areas of the region. All levels, it means that we have beginner classes, intermediate classes, and also advanced classes. We pay, okay, this is new for this year, we pay special attention to beginners. What does that mean? It is very simple. Beginner 1 and 2 classes will be isolated at the beginning of the program and pampered. It means that you will receive extra care with teachers, with monitors, and they will help you learn the survival skills to spend 5 weeks in Jonquiere. You will have activities, you will play with words, you will have some role play where you will be placed in situation like, how do I ask where the washroom is? It goes as simple as that. Okay, how can you use some basic French to function afterwards with the larger group and have a great time during your 5-week program. The placement test, we do have a online placement test. So people ask me like, what if I arrive on Monday afternoon? I will miss the test, but there's no test on the first day. The first day you start the program. The placement test is done prior to your arrival. You get the link and it is done online. We get your results and we basically use that not only to create the group of students, but also we make sure we place, by example, students of the same level in the same host family. So people, advanced students will be placed with other advanced students, so the conversation at the table will be more, I would say, exciting. People who are beginner will be most likely placed with other beginner students, so that the host family will pay good attention to you and you will work and try together to have a good conversation at the table. So there won't be any sense of frustration having an advanced student at the table who takes all the place with someone, a beginner, who feels left out and has no interaction. Participation is key in the program. There are, you need to attend class, you need to participate in mandatory activities. It is part of what I would say the government, the expectation of the Explore program. And yes, you do have free time, okay? Especially in the evening, you have free time. Credits and transcripts. Let's talk about that. This is a question that came a lot. Do I get university credit for the program? The answer is yes and no. You need to check with your university about that. You need to ask, okay, you need to ask them, the registrar office, if I participate in the Explore program and I get a transcript from the Jonquiere, Collège de Jonquiere, with the number of hours, with the course description outlining what I did during the 5 weeks, will you give me credit for that? Some universities do, okay, like I'm thinking about UBC, I'm thinking about the University of Ottawa, where Ian is from, but some others may not. So it is your responsibility to check on that. For some other people, they don't care about the credit. They just want to go for the experience, to be like in Jonquiere, in a 100% French environment and really improve on their French abilities. That's about it for the program. Let me see my note. Attendance, check out with university, transcript with online course. I think it's all good. So the next step, okay, will be about what makes us special, okay? And I will let Ian talk about that in a few seconds, but let's look at a few things that we listed ourselves. Jonquiere host families, and some people will say like, oof, I don't want to be in a host family, but at the same time, this is probably one of the components that people like the most during their stay in Jonquiere. The family we have, the network of family we have here, are really welcoming you like their own child. They will very often, and I don't know if Ian experienced that, but they will all, when they welcome you on the first day, they will kiss you on the cheeks to say, welcome, bonjour, and they will give you the kiss on both cheeks, because this is the French way of welcoming people. There is a beautiful small...
Definitely got that.
You did get the kisses?
Yeah, absolutely. My host mother, Joanne, was extremely welcoming. I got a big hug and the kiss on the side of the cheek. And it was, yeah, very welcoming and warm.
Okay, and there's also the small town atmosphere. Jonquiere is a borough of Saguenay, which is a town of a city of 150,000 people. Jonquiere is about 55,000 people, small. You are about like 5 minutes away from the main street of downtown. There is this Languages at Work program. In 2017, we had 15 job placement, which means that 15 students from the program stayed after the 5 weeks and got jobs working in French in the Saguenay region. And let's hear Ian talk about the language at work. And was it, Ian, your plan to do this when you came to explore?
When I first came to explore, I heard that there was this program. It was not, I wasn't sure that I was going to do the Language at Work program afterwards. I was just going to kind of see how it would work. There was a lot of information the first week of the Explore program about it, which was good to prepare me for, what I needed to know and do to participate in the Languages at Work program. But yeah, I did participate. I worked at the Musée du Fjord in Saguenay for 8 weeks after the program, and I felt that it was definitely worth it because it helped solidify all of the things that I learned during the program.
Mm-hmm. And what was your level when you left, when you entered the program? And just to give an idea to people that you don't necessarily need to be like an advanced student to get a job.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually attended the basic level 3, so the third step up from the bottom. I finished the 5-week program, and I was able to function in a 8-hour per day job for 5 days a week, interacting with the French-speaking public. Yeah, so I definitely wasn't at the top of the Explore class, and I was able to do the job well, I think.
Mm-hmm. And what was the job you had to do? Were you, I don't know, like behind the counter? Like, were you really interacting with people? What was the job like?
Sure. So I was a guide at the Museum of the Fjord. I was working behind the counter, selling tickets to customers, explaining the exhibits that we had at the museum, and at some points actually doing some tours. But yeah, on a daily basis, I was interacting with the Francophone staff and as well with the customers that were coming in.
Okay, yeah, and this is a very good example of like jobs that the Language at Work program will offer. Okay, last summer there was also a job at plein air. It's like an outdoor place. There was also one dealing with a river. It's a salmon pass. So there are one is at a local shop for clothing. So there are many possibilities and many job offers available. One of the questions I just got is, Language at Work, is it at Jonquiere only? No, there are other programs in across across the country that do offer languages at work. I think I'm thinking about Rivière-du-Loup. I'm thinking about Trois Pistoles, which is linked with the Western University. I think Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières as well has the Language at Work program. Moncton, the University of Moncton. Sainte Anne University in Nova Scotia. Maybe UBC, I'm not sure, but there are like a few programs offering the language at work. Other good thing about Jonquiere is the Explore ATM, which is the television production radio journalism. Okay, this is we have probably the finest facility in the province of Quebec. We have also this year an indigenous component added to the program. We will visit an Innu community very close to here and learn about their ways of life, and they will also come and do presentation here at the college. There is the Quebec City trip. Ian probably did it, but it is now free for participants. So Ian paid for that, but now it's free. We also have accommodation options, either the host family or the student's residence. And we have a caring team of teachers and monitors. The monitors are really there to make sure you have a great experience and also to make sure there is a lot of interactions with them. Okay, so anything else you would like to add, Ian, about what makes or what was special for you in Jonquiere?
Well, how much time do we have?
Well,
no, I think
take your time.
Sure. No, how do I say this? It was a wonderful program, and I think that's why I'm here volunteering to make sure that all the students listening can get all the information they need to be able to attend. I would say that it is really a special place. The whole slide there said what makes Jonquiere special. But I think the part that distinguishes Jonquiere the most was the staff and the kind of the quality of that 5-week program. As I said, I was amazed with my own performance, my own skill increase over the 5 weeks. By the end, I was able to do a job in French, in my second language, and to me that was amazing.
Okay, thank you, Ian. Okay, I got some more question. Okay, let's look. Some of them will apply for a little later. So let's move to the next slide. We'll talk about housing. Many questions about housing, and I will be pleased to answer and explain how things work. First of all, someone asked, can this presentation be done in French? I would love to. The thing is, though, with I guess the rules of how things work, we need to give information in the language of the participants, which is, in the case like tonight, most participants will be English-speaking Canadians from all across the country. Maybe some Americans will be with us. So we have to give this information in English. When you arrive here, when you do start the program, like I said at the beginning, the beginners will be separated from the rest of the group for 3 days. So the presentation will be in French from day one. Okay, and you will have also a pledge of honor to sign at the beginning of the program, where students will basically commit to speak French and use French at all time. Last spring program, it was amazing because all the students after like 24 hours, they were all speaking French at all time. And for me, it was, I think, for the past 9 years that I've been here at Le Centre Linguistique, it was the first time that magic operated like that, without having to give warnings, without having to push the students or force the students to use the French. It was quite amazing. So I apologize for not doing the presentation in French, and also we're kind of in a crunch of time, like we have about 55 minutes to do the presentation, because I also have another one right after for the summer program from 8 till 9 p.m. Another question here is how is the level determined? I think with the test. Okay, we do have the online placement test, which has many questions. It takes about an hour to do with the listening part, but there is also on the first day a validation interview. So you are tested not only for the writing, the listening, but you are tested also with your oral abilities. And this is where we really also put emphasis during the program. You will develop your fluidity, your listening abilities, since you are in a great environment to do that. Someone asked me about how many are accepted in the program and what are my chances. If you are participating in this presentation, it means that you are lucky. You are one of the person who got a bursary to participate in the Explore program. Chances, you got it. So I mean, you're a winner. You have a bursary for this event, for the program. Housing, host families. This is, I would say, the option that I would myself prefer and recommend. We have a network of host families that are like with us, for some of them for many years, others are new. They are all visited. We have a housing coordinator. Her name is Nikki. She is an Anglophone. She does a marvelous job with the host families. We have also student residence. The students' residence is dormitory style, which means that we have on each floor 18 rooms, okay, single rooms, all of them with a sink, and there is a communal kitchen and also communal showers and bathrooms. So it means that on each floor we have female floors and male floors, so we do separate, and every room is equipped with a small fridge. So every room, so don't ask, is there a fridge in my room, how can I rent it? It's there. So the rooms are equipped with a small fridge. People will ask, like, what will happen on the weekend? On the weekend, it's very simple. You do get money. We will give you $45 allowance, and you will have the opportunity to go to the mini supermarket. They are all about 10 minutes walk away from the college, okay? And you can go there, buy food for yourself. Some people will choose to go for breakfast at a local restaurant. It's very cheap here. You go to have breakfast with friends, and then you come and participate in the activities. Some people will decide to cook at the residence. Last year we had the famous cook who did actually cook for others for a very low price on the weekend. It was really interesting to see that on the Facebook group. What else can I say? Internet is available at the students' residence as well, and hopefully during the spring session the new internet service will be in place, but it is not guaranteed. But internet is available also at the college for free. Allergies, special needs, it is on the form, on the registration form, there is a space for you to let us know if you are like a vegetarian, if you are a vegan, if you have also, by example, a gluten intolerance, or if you need a gluten-free diet, if you have milk, like lactose intolerance. So you have a space to let us know. And also, if you have a special medical condition, it is very important to let us know. And in some cases, by example, someone who has a disability, who needs, by example, a walker to go around, you know, it is important to let us know, and we will contact you, and we will check with you. Do you need special attention? Do you need, by example, someone to help you? Because the Explore program has funding for to accommodate special needs like that, okay? And we will be more than happy to do so. I remember a few years ago in Ottawa, we had a deaf students participating in the Explore program, and I was amazed that the deaf students could do an English as a second language program with an interpreter, and it was in that case an vocalist interpreter. So the person moved his lips, and the student was able to read. It was a very expensive thing to do, but the government paid for that. So we have access to extra funding. We just need to know if there's something special, and of course this information is kept confidential. So if you need extra assistance, if you are, by example, having difficulties to walk, okay, and also we will accommodate in the sense that we will not ask you to climb the Cap Trinité, which is an hour and a half walk up the hill. You know, you will not be participating in all the activities, but many of them you will be able to participate. Personal preferences, I mentioned about people vegan, vegetarian. There are unfortunately no families for vegetarian or vegan people. So unfortunately we try to recruit, we don't have any. So students with special like dietary needs often stay at the residence because the cafeteria will deal with those special diet easily. Okay. Some people also about housing and all that. Some people say, I'll be driving to Jonquiere. Is there parking and how much? Yes, there is plenty of parking around the college. And how much is it? Is a very good question. I will investigate, and hopefully we will get you a free pass. Okay, so it's not free during the school year, but since the school is almost over when you come, let's see if we can maybe even ask you to park in the street in front of the college where it is free. One person asked, I need to leave out on the 15th of July. What job placement will offer 4 weeks? Good questions. I think you will need to talk to the Language at Work program. The idea is that usually the job are for 6 to 8 weeks. So I don't know if a 4-week job would be available. Okay, this is something to ask the Language at Work agent. Is there a kitchen in the residence? I answered that. Yes, there are kitchens on every floor. Okay, so that's good for this one. Many questions, so I will answer as many as I can. Can a visitor visit me and stay for the weekend if I am in the residence? The answer is a no. No, no, no. And you know, it is just for security reason, okay? There is 24 hours, 7 days a week security at the residence, and there is 11 p.m. No visitor rule, so the residents should be quiet by 11 p.m. and the visitor should be returning to their host family or to their home. Okay, to their where they stay in Jonquiere. If you want your family to visit you for a weekend, let us know, and we will maybe help you find accommodation, maybe in the hotel. There is a huge Delta hotel close, not too far away. So maybe it's time for you to spend the weekend. But the idea of the Explore program is to really kind of immerse yourself in the language, and I would recommend not having too many distractions during the 5 weeks, like to really take advantage of the program. How long are the classes? Well, it is 90 hours of 90 hours program of French classes. So you have 18 hours of language classes per week. It is like 4 hours every morning and 2 afternoons as well for 1 hour. Is it possible to change the application, by example, for housing to residence or for host families to residence? The answer is yes. You can write to us at immersion@cegebjonquiere.ca, and my staff will read your comment and will make the change for you in our huge and very effective database. Okay, so but make sure in the title that you put which program you're in, because Jonquiere has 4 different programs. Okay, 1 in Hamilton, 2 in Jonquiere, and 1 in Charlevoix, which is where we have a satellite school as well. So it is possible for you to do that. How long is the language at work placement? I just said that between 6 to 8 weeks. I emailed my registration form but got no answer. Is there anything else to do? Okay. The registration form, we got it. This will be, the information will be entered by my staff. And the thing you need to do is basically pay the $275 registration fee. Okay. And you will get the receipt directly from PayPal, or if you pay over the phone with credit card, you will get the receipt by email as well from my staff. You will also get information like the next email you're going to get will be about the extra cost activities and how to book the shuttle, things like that, which will be the next step in the presentation. I will answer 2 more questions. Are students allowed to miss a day for important events? The answer is yes. It is at the discretion of the director, and I am the director. I am a very talkable person, okay? And if you write to me telling me that, hey, on that day I need to go back to Kitchener, I need to go back to Ottawa for my graduation, I need to go back to Halifax for my graduation, but I'll be back the next Monday, I will say no problem, okay, you can go. We do understand that graduation is a very important event. How people get around Jonquiere? Bicycle, walk. We do rent bicycle. I don't know if Ian rented a bike, but we do rent bicycle. There are a few for rent, and we rent them to people who live a little farther away. And it is a very easy town to walk. Like I said, the college is in the middle of the city, and the city center is about 5 to 10 minutes walk from the college. Ian, did you have a bike when you came to Jonquiere?
I did have a bike, but luckily enough, it was provided by my homestay family. They had 2 bikes there that myself and the other student got to use. So that was extremely convenient, and bike, I would say, is by far the best way to get around Jonquiere. Of course, if you don't live too far, I really lived within walking distance, but I tend to sleep in, so it was good to be able to pop on a bike and get to the college in 5 minutes. It was great.
Okay, thank you, Ian. Next, let's talk. One last question here. Does the Quebec trip cost extra? The answer is no, which means that the transportation to Quebec City and back to from Quebec City is provided, but the meals are on your own. Okay, but just for the experience of going to Quebec City, I think it's really worth it. If someone doesn't want to go to Quebec City, we won't force you, but since it is a beautiful, beautiful place, I would recommend you jump on the bus and participate in this event. Transportation. You see the slide, how to get to Jonquiere on Sunday, May 13th. Basically, this is the day to arrive, to travel to Jonquiere. We have a city airport. It's called the Bagotville-Saguenay Airport. It is a small airport. The flight comes from Montreal. There is also a train station here. You can come. You will arrive on Monday evening. So people say like, oh, but I don't want to miss a day. You have no choice. The train comes on Friday, Monday, and leaves on Friday and Monday as well. So you need to you arrive on Monday evening, and we'll go pick you up at the train station. Bus, there is a bus line coming here to Jonquiere, and also you can drive your car here into the beautiful region. How far is Jonquiere from Montreal? About 5.5 hours drive. How far is Jonquiere from Ottawa? I do that on a regular basis, and it takes about 6.5 to 7 hours. You need to plan your trip to avoid the traffic, the horrible traffic of Montreal, and also the horrible traffic of Quebec City. So if you get there at peak hours, at rush hour, prepare yourself to waste a lot of time on the road. But if you plan your trip nicely, and if you need, you can avoid the rush hour in both cities, and you make it much faster. Another good way to travel to Jonquiere is to use the shuttle service, and as you can see, it is $120 round trip. It is cheaper than the regular service, and this is a direct service from the Montreal Airport. We have luxury coach there waiting for you on Sunday, May 13th, and the departure will be at 12 noon. One person already wrote to me and said, oh, but my flight gets in at 11:45. I will not be able to take the 12 o'clock bus. I am flexible. So the bus may leave at 12:30 to accommodate you. We will have your arrival, your flight number, okay, and this bus, there is one bus at the airport and one other at the downtown bus station. Some people will travel using, many people are from the Toronto area. There is a bus line very, very cheap called Megabus, I think. Megabus, yes. Those are huge bus coming from Toronto to Montreal, double-decker, very cheap. So this is a very economical way to come to Montreal. The only thing is, these big buses do not arrive at the bus terminal in Montreal. You will need to take the subway from the train station where the megabus arrive to go to the bus terminal. It is easy to do, okay? And then you will have access to our bus, which will be parked at the bus terminal. There will be people at the airport. Okay, it will most likely be me because I will be coming back from a trip to the US. So unfortunately for you, you'll be riding the bus to Jonquiere with the director of the program, and or luckily for you, I don't know. And there will be someone else at the bus station, sorry, downtown Montreal, also to welcome you and say, hey, here I am to basically make sure everyone is happy, and when it is the time, okay, the monitor at the Montreal bus terminal will call the bus for you to embark. Okay, so there will be someone, I think the person at the Montreal bus terminal will be there from, I can't remember, maybe 12 noon or 11:30, and myself, I will be at the Montreal airport from 10:30 a.m. on. So if you arrive in Montreal at the airport at 8:30 a.m., we won't be there. But don't panic, we will be there shortly. I will be there myself at 10:30 a.m. Okay, and I will have, well, you know me already because you see me, you know, but it will be easy for you to, you know, get together and get ready to take the bus for a long and beautiful journey into Quebec and to Jonquiere. On Saturday, June 16th, this is the return to Montreal, and the bus will leave the college at, I think, 7 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember, 6 or 7 in the morning. And you should book your flight for after 3 p.m. So it gives you time to do the check-in at the airport. We will be at the airport at around 12:30 p.m. Okay? Okay, more questions so far, not about transportation. So this is it about for transportation, the shuttle service. Some people will say, I want to use Amigo Express, other means. That's fine, okay, as long as you get to Jonquiere. Some people will have also friends, family driving them here. You are more than welcome to arrive like that, and we will welcome you between 1 and 7 p.m. Ian, can you tell us about your arrival here? How did you make it to Jonquiere?
I was about to cut in to suggest, but thanks for handing it over. I used the Facebook group. There is one for this term. There was a question about that as well. I believe if you scroll up in the menu, somebody posted the name. It is Explore Jonquiere Spring or Printemps. And a lot of people will be organizing carpools that are coming up from different regions of Ontario. I know there's quite a few from the Toronto area, from Guelph and Hamilton as well. It's a great way to meet some people on your way up, and it's usually pretty easy to organize and cheaper than driving up yourself, or sometimes even taking the bus, and a bit more comfortable too. I would highly recommend that, and you can plan when to arrive with that group of students.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. We had, I don't know if it was the year you were with us, Ian, but we had the students from Louisiana driving from all the way from, I think, from Louisiana. It took a 3 days drive and all that to join us. And yes, you know that I heard from, you know, this former students, he got married to a Explore participant. So there was a big love story. Anyway, it's something very interesting that happened sometimes during Explore. He got married and they now live in Paris, France.
Oh, wow.
Because they both study there.
Yeah, both of them were actually in my workshop, in my short films workshop. I worked with them. That was Steven from Louisiana and Seja. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yes, yes. And I should post actually online on the Facebook group the movie Steven made from his experience in Jonquiere. It was quite a movie, and you will see his now wife. So quite a story here. Okay, next let's go with the program rules. We talk about the you know, the use of the French language. You know, people will say like, how strict are you? We are strict and not that strict. We don't want you to be turned off of learning French. And at the same time, if you are insisting on speaking English and basically destroying the experience of others, we will, you know, intervene. For the past 9 years, I think maybe only 2 or 3 students were sent home for not basically participating on understanding the idea of the Explore program, which would be to focus on the French language for the Explore program. Attendance in class and mandatory activities. I mean, it is your choice, you know, but if you're missing 50% of the class, in the end, your transcript will say that you participated only in 45 hours out of 90. So if you want to get credits from the university, I think it will not look that great. So the idea is to basically attend. We have a wonderful team of teachers. They are making classes very, I would say, dynamic. The focus is really on oral abilities, listening, and of course the advanced group will do also very advanced material. Alcohol and drugs. Well, drugs, I think we have no need to address this one. It is totally illegal still. Alcohol, this is, the college is like free of alcohol, and in the student residence, in your room, you can drink. But everywhere else, it is forbidden, okay, by rules, by municipal laws. The town of Jonquiere has, nice place for you to enjoy, to go dancing, to go have a glass of beer. But the program, this is not the goal of the program to encourage drinking in any way. Okay, I see Ian smiling, but at the same time, yes, people can have a good time, but we don't encourage, I would say, over drinking and being irresponsible. Violence and harassment, we have a zero tolerance here with this, which means that if there is anything happening, it is very important that you report that, and we will, depending on how bad it is, we will expel the person right away. Social media, this is a big one because some people will have, in some cases, have a tendency to vent their frustration on the Facebook group, publicly like that. I would rather have you come and vent with me or in front of me your frustration. I have a wonderful staff, and we will listen to you and make sure we can fix problems, okay, if it is sent to us properly. The social media policy, basically we're talking about respectful comments, appropriate comments, responsible comments, and this is what I would expect to see on, by example, the Facebook group, and also in the emails, the communication. Unfortunately, very often the social media, we don't see the emotion. Sometimes people write something as a joke, but the reader will perceive it as very offensive or as being not very good. So, think before you publish something. Those are basically like the rules. Like I talk about the pledge of honor. This is also a very important feature. Next, we move on to the extra cost activities. There are very few extra cost activities because we made many activities free. Basically, like the Quebec City trip is free. We remove also some activities because, as you can see, the calendar is quite full of activities. Rafting is still available, aerial rope course, and kayaking are the three extra cost activities. Some people will say like, well, I don't see them, how can I buy them? You will receive an email with the information, and you will shop at the PayPal store we have, and using PayPal you will be able to purchase these activities. Some people will say, oh, but it's not available anymore. It's because the activity is sold out. And this is also where you can buy the shuttle. If you want to use the shuttle service, this is also at this place you will be able to buy the activity. We continue with the last slide. How to register? You receive the link languejonquiere.ca /English/register. Make sure you select the right program. And there is a large list of programs. We have at Le Centre Linguistique many programs in many different cities, as you will see. Make sure you pick the spring session from May 14 to June 15 in Jonquiere. If you need extra time to decide, okay, some people ask me like, we have until when to decide if we accept or not the bursary? You have until Friday, April 13th to do so. But if someone say like, oh, but I need to know, I need more time, write to me, and I will be more than happy to give you an extension. Okay? You need extra time to pay. Maybe times are difficult for you right now and you don't have $275 for the registration fee. Don't panic. Write to me and say, Mr. Paradis, I need a little, maybe a week or two more to pay the registration fee, but I really want to secure my spot for the program. Okay, let us know, and I will definitely allow you to take more time. Someone asked, does the 11 o'clock visitor deadline include weekends? The answer is yes. The student residence, it's like basically a rule, like after 11 o'clock things should be fairly quiet. Do you need to sleep at 11 o'clock? The answer is no, but you know, it should be quiet on every floor for those who would like to sleep and relax. If you need to you know, maybe dance, there is a nice place for you to dance in the city, Le Campus. I see Ian smiling, so I think it's a good place to go. When we will get the detail about our host family? Very, very good question. Ian, did you get the details about your host family?
No, actually, I don't think I did. To be honest, it was a while ago, but I remember I got confirmed that I was in a host family. But other than that, I was to arrive and meet them, and they would pick me up, and it would be all settled for me, which is a big help because you don't have to worry about getting to the host family's house or anything like that. The good thing is you show up and everything's organized for you.
Mm-hmm. And Ian has the right answer. We don't send the information about the host family. Why is that? It is just a question of cost. Okay, I have one staff member placing 130 students in 2 weeks. Okay, for you know, finding host families, the students' residence, and all that. If we were to send the profile for the host family to each student, okay, it will be like 3 times the amount of work. So she really focused, Mrs. Wilson, really focused. She reads the information you put on the registration form. And if you say, by example, that you love dogs and you want a family with a dog, she will most likely find a family for you with a dog, okay? And at the same time, by example, if Ian had arrived in a family and the chemistry, the connection wasn't great, he could have, you know, he would have come to us or to Mrs. Wilson and tell her, Madam Wilson, there's something wrong with my family, I don't feel comfortable, and we will fix it. No one will spend 5 weeks miserable in a host family, okay? So you need to come to us, and after 48 hours, usually this is the time we ask, and if there is something, then we will fix it, okay? Of course, you know, if you say like, if you want to be, by example, with a friend, okay, you come with a friend, a good friend, and you say like, I would like to stay with my friend Justine, then you let us know, and we can also accommodate that and find a way to accommodate that. Some people will say, okay, and host families, like usually we have like boys with boys and girls like with girls. Just things are easier this way as well. How many students per host family? Good question that I just got. We have host families that can accommodate up to 6 students. One of our most famous host family, the lady has 6 beautiful bedrooms. So everyone has her own bedroom, and she can accommodate 6 students. Some will have only one student. So it really depends. If you want to stay by yourself, send us a note and we'll find you a host family that has only one spot. But other than that, okay, if you're open to basically the adventure, okay, just leave things quite open and you may be quite surprised and wonderfully surprised, because of course people, the host family, the best host families we have, welcome students not for the money. They welcome students because they enjoy sharing their life with you. They enjoy welcoming students. They enjoy talking to you, and this is how we keep some wonderful host families. More questions, more comments? I think I pretty much covered, hopefully pretty much everything. Some people, I'm looking at some of the last look at some of the questions I got. Someone asked, is there an option to have a private bathroom? Unfortunately, no. The students' residence is built with communal bathroom, but the residence was renovated about 3 years ago. So the bathrooms, like, you have your own shower stall, like it's private, when you go still to use the shower, by example. Is there a piano available at the college that I will be able to use if we have free times? Yes, we have a music room, and if you want to bring your musical instrument and jam and do a jam session in the music room, yes, it is something possible for you to do. There are 2 pianos available. We have one at Centre Linguistique in our administration office area, and there is also one available in the music room. Can we have a free time? The answer is yes. Someone asked, can I go to Montreal by myself? The answer would be not really, okay? The idea is, why don't you plan your trip to arrive a day or 2 prior to the beginning of the program, and why don't you spend a few days in Montreal before coming here, or at the end of the program, use the shuttle, arrive in Montreal, and spend a day or 2 there with a bunch of friends from all over Canada and discover the big city, the big French city. Okay, this would be my recommendation. Okay, when you're here, 5 weeks, it goes by very quickly, and you will see that you will speak, you will learn, you will also develop wonderful friendships with other participants. We have 2 minutes left. Can we use language at work experience to get a job somewhere that isn't Jonquiere? By example, Ottawa. The answer is no, but yes, it did happen. Okay, so like last year, we had not enough students here in Jonquiere to fill out all the positions in Jonquiere, so we had people from Rivière-du-Loup coming here, and we also had one person from the Ottawa program for French coming here to Jonquiere. So, but I would say this is not normal. This is not the rule. Who to contact for more info about parking? Write me or write us a message, okay, and I will make sure I transfer it to Mrs. Nikki Wilson, the housing coordinator, and she will be able to answer you easily. Jonquiere is not like Toronto, it's not like Montreal. This is not an expensive city. Parking here is cheap. You can park in front of the college for free. So if you have a car, you can easily leave it in front of the college, park there. I would say it is sometimes easier to walk than to use your car around the city here. And one last question, does host family plan excursions? How much we will be interacting with them? I would say you will be interacting with them as much as you want, since after the regular hours, like between 8 and 5 p.m., which is really where all the activities are focused here at Centre Linguistique. After that, students can stay home and have dinner and relax with them on the patio or talk with the host family all evening. So basically, and some families will even say, would you come to the cottage with us? You say yes to that. and you ask me to give you permission, and I will say, go for it. It's going to be a wonderful experience, and I know you will speak French all weekend with the host family. Okay, so there will be a lot of interaction with the host family, and I would say with them, you need to smile, you need to be polite, you need to be extra charming, and they will do everything you want for them. Okay, this is basically the rule for the host family. I see my technician writing a last question very quickly. Ian, do you have some last word before we leave the system?
Absolutely, and I'll try and make it quick. I've seen a lot of questions, and I'm sure all of you attending this webinar have a lot. My first tip is look for your emails and read the emails. A lot of the information and instructions are there. If you still don't know, of course, you can email immersion@cégepjonquiere.ca. I'll post it again in the chat, and they will help you with any inquiries that you have. Next is try not to worry too much. I know there's lots to think about, but honestly, you just have to show up and bring a good attitude, and you can succeed in the program. There was one student asking about the language rule about not speaking any English. What if you're a basic language speaker? I was in basic level 3, and there were students who came in that I was friends with who had no French whatsoever. The rule is really for you guys in a lot of sense. It's for everyone, but you know, people who are comfortable in French, it's easy for them. It's hard for you. You'll do a lot of listening instead of talking and figuring out how to express yourself, but that's how the program works. And it can be stressful in the first few days, but by the second week, you're full steam into it, and by the 5th week, you'll see yourself improving 500%. Best of luck to everyone, and I hope you really, really enjoy yourself, and I'm sure you will.
Hey, thank you very much, Ian. One last quick question. Do mature students participate in your program? The answer is yes. Okay, and if you want to feel young, come to the Explore program. Okay, because I mean, the majority of students are like Ian, you know, between 20 to 25 years old. But we did receive students, you know, older students, and they're really kind of welcomed by all the participants. It does work very well. Okay. Thank you very much. We have to go. This will be available online on the Facebook group, and I will also send a message tomorrow if you need to watch this again. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much, Ian, and thanks to all. Welcome to Jonquiere, and hopefully we'll meet all of you shortly.